On the tee from USA, Tiger Woods.
Welcome to Tea Time Thursday. This is your tea time where we're going to dive into a couple articles, crypto and blockchain. Today, we're going to be getting into the Boston Federal Reserve teaming up with MIT. And we're also going to touch on a little teeny weeny bit of some technical analysis with Tezos and Tron. So let's go ahead and let's tee off, shall we? So article starts with this. Boston's Federal Reserve Bank is working with Massachusetts Institute of Technology to develop a code base exploring the potential of a central bank digital currency. The partnership came to light during a speech delivered by the Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd earlier this week, unpacking the goals of the partnership and what they hope to achieve by the deep dive into possibilities of a central bank digital currency. Exciting stuff. I love to see this, especially in the United States. I feel like we've been lagging behind many other countries, Germany, China, to name a few, that are starting to really dive into this central banking digital currency. We're behind, folks, and we got a little pep in the step here. So I'm glad to see Boston is spearheading this. As always, the city of champions. I love it. All right, so let's go on. As Brainerd explains, the collaboration with MIT will take place over a number of years, and information and code base that is developed will be shared with the general public. To enhance the Federal Reserve's understanding of digital currencies, the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston is collaborating with researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in a multi-year effort to build and test a hypothetical digital currency oriented to central bank uses. Lessons from this collaboration will be published, and any code base that is developed through this effort will be offered as open source software for anyone to use for experimentation. Good stuff. Open source, love it. And we're going to be able to pass this on to other central banks around the country. So, like I said, good stuff all around. Glad to see this. Good for the Federal Reserve of Boston. So policy reform needed for CBDC issuance. The governor highlighted the fact that banks, fintech companies, and technology firms are all exploring different solutions to improve payment efficiencies, drive financial inclusion, and reduce costs associated with existing systems. Nevertheless, the emergence and continual adoption of Bitcoin, stablecoins, and various cryptocurrencies are casting a spotlight on existing legal and regulatory parameters. There are a lot of important legal considerations. It is important to understand how the existing provisions of the Federal Reserve Act with regard to currency issuance apply to CBDC, and whether a CBDC would have legal tender status depending on the design. The Federal Reserve has not made a decision whether to undertake such a significant policy process, as we are taking the time and effort to understand the significant implications of digital currencies and CBDCs around the globe. Once again, the U.S. has just been kind of doing this little wait and see approach. I want it. I want it so badly. I want this digital currency across the board so badly. But the biggest concerns are we got to keep it anonymous. I don't want the U.S. turn into China in that respect. I have a lot of respect for China and what they're doing. But I don't want it to be a tracking device. I want to be able to spend my money anonymously however I want to without it being tracked. So it's a double-edged sword, right? I like that they're waiting and seeing, but I think there's got to be a little bit, like I said, a little bit more emphasis on experimenting, figuring out the flaws, and trying to work through them. Like I think it's like I said, we got to be able to lead the world here, and other countries are stepping up, and kudos to those other countries. Exploring a CBDC. Given that China is already testing the use of the platform with some of the country's biggest banks, there is bound to be some pressure for America to keep up in this space. The Federal Reserve Governor said that the organization had been actively conducting its own research and experimentation with blockchain technology and digital currencies. Like other central banks, we're continuing to assess the opportunities and challenges of, as well as the use cases for a CBDC as a complement to cash and other payments options. There continues to be strong demand for U.S. currency, and we remain committed to ensuring the public has access to a range of payment options. Global communication is key. Central bank digital currencies are being explored by a number of countries around the world. Given this fact, Brainerd says that collaboration between different central banks will be key for the global development of CBDCs. We are participating in the CBDC coalition of central banks, While each country will make decisions on whether to issue and how to design a CBDC based on its own domestic legal framework and financial and economic context, we benefit from collaboration on CBDC research. No shit. You would think you guys would start working hand in hand here with a few of the comrades like Germany. Why don't we lean on them a little bit? Let's get a little ramp up here of knowledge. All right, so common goals can also be realized, like improving cross-border transactions. Jointly participating in the development of CBDCs will also be crucial in preventing potential mishaps, as Brainerd explains. Since financial and payment systems share extensive cross-border linkages, a poorly designed CBDC issued in one jurisdiction could create financial stability issues in another jurisdiction. A cyber attack on a CBDC arrangement in one jurisdiction could create domestic financial stress, which could in turn affect linked economies or have broader effects if confidence in certain technologies or payment mechanisms is eroded. All right, so valid point there. I know it was kind of ripping into the central banks, but valid point. I think from what I'm gathering from this article, they're being extremely careful because you are messing with the economy if you don't get it right. And if there's some sort of backdoor where a hacker can get in and screw up the whole system, the world would fall into chaos. So the pressure is immense to get this right. I get it. I just think there needs to be a little bit more, gumption about this. It seems like they're kind of just like dipping their toe in the water. Okay. And then they kind of keep going back. And I understand it. There's a lot of pressure there. So I'm not knocking Brainerd. I'm glad that he's stepping up. But at the end of the day, I just feel like the U.S. has been lagging behind in a lot of these areas. So now we're going to shift. That was the central banking here in Boston. We're going to shift over to Tezos. Get you guys a little price analysis. This was written on the 15th. For those of you who survived, today is the 19th. Absolute bloodbath the past couple of days. I mean, corrections all over the marketplace. I think there might have been 2 coins that I saw that had slight upticks. Everything was down. After kind of reading and looking into what happened, this was a healthy correction. Looks like a lot of the supports held in a lot of coins, so that is good news. But we're going to get caught up with kind of what's happening with Tezos and their price action over the past week. So Tezos has seen some remarkable price action recently after embarked on a steady uptrend since the beginning of August. That price rally drove XTZ prices from lows of 280 to highs of 440 earlier this week. The uptick XTZ registered last weekend has stalled after facing some intense resistance near the mid $4 zone. So analysts believe that the 13th largest crypto and coin market cap is poised to see further upside soon. While examining XTZ's market structure on his chart below, prominent analyst Crypto Michael explained that the asset must hold the region to climb further in the week ahead. So what he's referring to, this chart, I try to blow it up. You can't really see it well. Essentially, it's this mark here, though. I believe it's at like 358 right here, this green zone. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it held through this bloodbath like in the 370s. So that's a good sign for Tezos. That means if it held that mark even through this correction here, we should be seeing good things. And he's saying it could go all the way up to 850, which is essentially double its price. I'm not hoping for a chain link kind of action because I think that was very artificial. I think Tezos has more of a kind of an organic growth, and it follows cycles. It's very steady Eddie, I think, in the market. It drops, but it pumps. And when it pumps, it's like a little mini pump. It's not absolutely mooning like some of these other ones like Link, which you saw just an absolute blow up over the past couple of weeks. I think that's artificial pumping. Tezos feels like it's more organic. It's gluten-free too. So, I mean, what more could you love? So a sustained spell of trading above this crucial region could be enough to send XTZ. Oh, that's a typo. He put XTX there. Call them out, the daily chain. Price rocketing towards $5. XTZ price could surge after its current consolidation. After reaching recent highs of 440 last Tuesday, XTZ entered a consolidation phase that has continued to this day. This bullish sentiment was corroborated by Twitter user and analyst Crypto Kaleo, who asserted that he expects a substantial rally for the Tezos price as soon as the current consolidation phase resolves. The analyst shared the chart below, showing that XCZ could soon register a 100% uptick that propels its price towards the $8 region. Wow, I think that'd be great for Tezos. That'd be freaking awesome. I know all the stakers and the bakers would love that. Delegators too. Everybody's gonna love that. But like I said, you see, I think these predictions are more realistic. A lot of people are talking about Link going to $32 by the end of this month. Like I've read a lot of Twitter threads where people are like, Link's gonna hit $30. Yeah, because it's artificial and it's the classic pump and dump. Just one foot in front of the other. Tezos is just chugga 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 choo choo. I love it. I love it. I think it's I hope we see $8 very soon. So we shall see. Now talks about Tron, gets into a little uptick here. Let's get into this segment. So Tron was one of the week's biggest winners after it surged by 20%. Justin Sun is trading marginally lower by 2.5% at its current price of 10 cents. However, technical indicators signal that the asset's recent rally is just getting started. According to the average directional index displayed in the TRX price chart below, a crucial time frame resistance has been breached, just as the asset's uptrend is gaining bullish momentum. This trend measuring indicator thus suggests that the resistance will soon break, propelling TRX higher in the near term. So good news for Tron. I like Tron. I like Justin Sun too. I think he's got really good insights and he's got really cool projects. So with Tron, I know they're getting into DeFi. It's going to be interesting. A lot of companies dipping their toes in the DeFi water. So it's going to be interesting to see what that does to their actual coin. And we'll see. So that is our Teed Up Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave your comments, like, subscribe, smash the notification button, Crypto Live Leak, and your boy, Benton Yaun. Until next time, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Get on!
Thank you.
Oh. No, they don't come much better than that.